society believes that when women are confident in their work, that we are arrogant or we're bitches. And I've been perceived as maybe a bit pretentious sometimes or arrogant, but I'm not.
Gaga.
Hi.
Thanks so much for coming out.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
You are on the record with Fuse.
Yes.
Tell me about your creative process, how you come up with a song. And I love this idea that you said it's your job to have mind-blowing, irresponsible, condomless sex with whatever idea you're writing about. I mean, that's what an artist should strive to do.
It is, but in real life, you should always have sex with a condom.
Well, of course. We're talking about hypothetical, figurative.
It was a hypothetical, metaphorical comment about how I like to roll around and wrestle with my music. And it comes from a very deep place.
But how do you come up with your songs? Is it pen to paper? Are you sitting at the piano?
It's whenever it comes.
Whatever the muse.
Praise God, whenever it comes. Because creativity for me is like, it's religious. Sometimes at the piano, and sometimes I just hear something and I write it out loud. And sometimes I'm just humming, or I'm in the studio and I'm making a beat and I'm singing along. It's always different. When I wrote Monster, I had this vision. I had this vision of the way that I have seen men for so long. Monsters.
Bad monsters or good monsters or both?
Well, I like monsters, but monsters are bad for you, I guess. So that's what the record was about.
Why do you want to be famous?
Well, fame for me is not external. It's internal. So
Right.
I've been famous for a long time. And I certainly know that my destiny is to be a storyteller in the world and a liberator in the world. So I guess you could say my external fame is a voice.
Do you know what Stranger means?
Stranger?
Yeah, I'm talking about like Grace Jones.
Okay, yeah, well...
Stranger.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you. That's so much of who you are.
Grace is a huge inspiration to me. The androgyny of the woman is this kind of fascinating thing that nobody understands or wants to understand unless you're in the beautiful subculture that is my fans and also the gay community. They get it instantly.
Yeah.
And they love it.
When Madonna says you have that it factor, what does that do to you? I mean, it sounds like a heap of pressure to me.
That's kind of like saying that Rivera can't handle the ninth inning.
Yankee references from Gaga, I love that.
But you know what I mean?
But
you know,
you're Mariano Rivera.
I'm a closer. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, when Madonna says something like that, I'm not the kind of woman that pisses out in the ninth inning. I rise and I close.
I mean, you're a cultural phenomenon now. I mean, like, there were tons of Gagas for Halloween. Cartman on South Park is singing Poker Face. I mean, you know, how does it feel when you're like, you know, you've exploded beyond the music business to just everybody talking about you and thinking about you?
Well, that's the idea. I want to be a part of culture. When I say I'm an artist of liberation, that is where the work is. It's in culture, it's in society, it's with the people. I don't care about what people think of me. I care what they think of themselves. When they come to my shows, my fans aren't sitting there going, oh my God, I love Gaga. They're going, I feel so cool right now that I'm here.
I love that you love Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
Talk about what you love about him and how he influences you.
One of my favorite things he said is, artists make things that people don't need. And I was in Paris and I saw this painting and it looked nothing like a Warhol. And I started to cry. I was just staring at this painting thinking, why don't you look like a Warhol? And he made it when he was, you know, like 23, when he was my age. And I said, I feel like that painting. I feel like I have not yet defined my aesthetic. So I'm just beginning. Now I'm in my silkscreen period.
Do you cry a lot?
Lately I cry quite a bit, yeah. To be perfectly honest. But I cry a lot when I write.
Were you popular in high school?
No.
No?
No.
Were you tormented in high school?
Yeah. Oh, you used the wrong word. You know, I had friends, of course.
Yeah.
I think everyone has at least one friend.
But
I was not really understood. I felt out of place. I felt like a misfit. And but then when I left school, I loved that I was a misfit. And I met all kinds of people. I realized I had a whole group of new friends that I could raise my freak flag with.
Well, yeah, tell me about the taking the name Lady Gaga.
It started out kind of as a sweet, loving joke, and then it became something my friends all called me, and then I used it as a burlesque name, so, you know, I just sort of became known as Gaga.
Well, what was the point in your mind, and the process in your mind, when you said, okay, Lady Gaga is my name, and I will respond to nothing else from here forward?
No, I respond to Stephanie, but my mom calls me Gaga now.
Your mom calls you Gaga?
Yeah, but it's because, you know, it's like a nickname. Like, you know, like if your dad calls you Skip.
But at what point do you fully become Gaga? I mean, I know it's always in you, but at a certain point it subsumes you and it becomes all of you rather than being a part of you.
It happened around 5 years ago, but it's sort of like a mantra. It's kind of, you know, you repeat it to yourself every day. Music is my life. Music is my life. The fame is inside of me. I'm going to make a #1 record and with #1 hits, and it's not yet. It's a lie. You're saying a lie over and over and over again, and then one day, the lie is true.
Do you find your songs funny? Because Just Dance in particular is hysterical.
Well, I think that on the Fame, there was a lot of humor, and there's more humor even in the Fame Monster, but it's a bit more kind of morbid.
How long you psycho, your vertigo stick, while you admire a window, baby, is sick.
I want your psycho, your vertigo shtick, want you in my rear window, baby, you're sick. I'm listing Hitchcock films and giving them a sexual connotation, but in reality what I'm saying is I want your horror. You know, I want your fears. Whatever baggage you have, I've got it too, baby. Give it all to me. I want your psycho. I want your ugly. I want all the most disgusting parts of you that you think nobody will ever love. I loved all of those things.
Ra, ra, ah, 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 Rama, Rama,